Hi, I'm Bob Jensen. This is Fishing the Midwest. Thanks for stopping by. We're going to be fishing walleyes and bass today. We're starting off with walleyes in North Dakota. This is kind of an interesting story for you, isn't it, Mike?
It is, Bob. It's a lake Dad and I actually hunted deer in when I was a kid. Now we're fishing from it. Let's go out, get in the boat, and see what this is all about. We are going to try to see if we can find some fish. I see there's these little shoreline points. We're gonna run across some of those points and see if we can see any fish on the depth finder. And hopefully we'll be able to find a point that's got a school of fish on it. And if we do, we'll come back through them with bottom bouncers and spinners. Fishing for lots of folks is spending time in the outdoors, making memories with people you enjoy being with. Today, I'm spending a day in the boat with my dad, Bruce. We are making memories, but we are also looking back at yesteryear and remembering good times gone past. What we're gonna do is we're gonna run 4 lines. We're in North Dakota where 2 lines are legal per person. We're fishing basically somewhat of a flooded over slough bottom. This is a lake that was a lake, dried up, became a lake again. And I actually spent some time deer hunting this lake when I was a kid. Back then we could walk from one ridge to the other, and now we're out here in 10 to 15 feet fishing for walleyes. We had a little bit of a cold front come through last night, and I think it's got these fish off a little bit. So what we're doing is we're kind of hopping point to point, trying to find some active fish. The first point we were on, we pulled I think maybe 4 fish, but they were a little bit smaller, so we came down here on the next point. We're using a planer board, we're using a dead stick, and Dad and I are each hand holding the line. We're kind of spread out here, so we're covering kind of a horizontal path with our spread here, and we're using different color spinners to try to pattern these fish as well. There he is. Dad?
Yeah.
You wanna grab the net here? He's not a monster, but he might be a little nicer than those first ones we've had. There we go. That's a nice walleye. There we go. They are white fish, aren't they?
White bellies.
He hit it, dropped it, hit it again. Oh, there we go. There we go.
That's a little nicer.
Yep, that's a chunk there. That's a chunk there. Just a tad over 18. You know, Dad, we dropped out a little bit deeper on that pass. I'm just wondering if that front might have not knocked the fish out a little deeper. I think we need to maybe focus some more of our efforts out in a little deeper water.
That's a good possibility. I wouldn't doubt that they've probably gone deeper.
Bob, the day got off to kind of a slow start, but we're starting to figure it out. Stay tuned for more walleye fishing action on Fishing the Midwest.
Fishing the Midwest is made possible by Larson Boats, Larson FX, where others have yet to go. Northland Fishing Tackle, made by fishermen, for fishermen. Cabela's, it's in your nature. Evinrude, introducing the all-new Evinrude E-Tech G2, the outboard of the future. Available today.
What inspires the angler to return to the water's edge are not the countless fish that came before, but the one that lies ahead. Smoother and quieter than aluminum, stronger and lighter than any fiberglass boat in its class. That's the power of the VecTech hull. See more online and at your local FX dealer. Larson FX, where others have yet to go.
There's deer in the meadow, frogs in the pond, a place up the river where the fish are getting long.
Money!
Bass in the lilies, crappie in the reeds, walleye on the rocks and pike in the weeds. There's a fella down the road who's a real fishing man, give you a stringer for the frying pan. Northland, fish and tackle, fisherman's favorite. It's the fisherman's favorite.
Introducing a revolutionary concept in outboards, a choice. Now with the Evinrude E-Tech G2, you can choose unrivaled performance, superior fuel economy, and the cleanest combustion outboard on the planet. Choose from hundreds of color combinations to perfectly match your boat. And choose 5 years or 500 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Experience the power of choice at ChooseYourETech.com.
How easy is it to stay rigged, ready, and tangle-free? Yeah, that easy. Rig Wrap, the world's best fishing rig storage solution.
Fish on! Come on, get together.
Welcome back to Fishing the Midwest. We're in south central North Dakota catching walleyes. Let's get back on the water. There we go. You know, we dropped out just a hair, a couple feet. Every pass since we dropped out deeper, we've been bit somewhere on one of the lines. I'm guessing this one's 15 even. Ooh, I was close, 15 and a quarter. You know, Dad, we're not happy because we were expecting more 18 inchers, but a lot of places, man, I'll take these all day long.
A lot of people keep them.
Oh yeah, these are great eating size fish. All right, we'll get that one back. Dad and I are in south central North Dakota. North Dakota has experienced a period of high water, which has resulted in an exploding number of fisheries, as once dry slough bottoms have now become full of water and fish too. While large fisheries like Devil's Lake and Lake Kawahi get lots of fishing attention, North Dakota has hundreds of smaller bodies of water that are plumb full of fish too. Today we're in south central North Dakota, fishing what used to be one of our favorite hunting sloughs.
When there was grass and weeds, this whole bottom was good deer country, and the ridges along the side were the shrubs and the trees. My brother and my dad, my uncle, and then when my sons come along, used to all hunt together. It was fun. A lake south of here overflowed, brought water into here, and brought the northern pike into here.
Oh, look at this one. Big pike.
We want to net them?
Yeah, we might as well.
Ooh, that is a good sized pike.
Well, here's a little North Dakota bonus fish. Man, he's got a little bit of girth to him, and he was honored. He did not want to be in this boat at all. So let's put him back, get him back to where he swims. It was a fun guy to catch there. Oh boy. This is the new Pro Walleye Series long shank spinner. This is a long shanked hook, so you can get that crawler threaded way up there, get that hook point back in the crawler, and it also comes with the snapback barb which does a really good job of keeping the crawler on the hook as well. So it's a pretty neat system that does a good job of hooking these fish. Rig wraps are great for storing spinners. No more tangled inconvenience when we want a new spinner. Simply open the storage container and quickly and conveniently unwrap a new spinner rig. Let's take a break from the fishing and go to Cabela's to learn about some equipment that might make your next fishing trip more fun.
Jake, something that I've always been really successful with are baits like this. This is the Cabela's Fisherman Series Swim Minnow, and it's kind of a paddle tail minnow. Now, if I was going to fish walleyes, how would I rig that?
You definitely want to rig it with the Slurp Head Northland minnow head right here. Works really well on there. You can use it for your different water body systems, such as rivers, your lakes. You can use it for a regular swim bait in shallow water, or you can use it as a vertical jigging motion up and down in your various water bodies.
And something that's really important is to keep it moving. You don't fish it like a live minnow. You got to make that thing move.
You got to make it move. The one thing about the paddle tail here is it's a little thicker paddle tail that I've noticed compared to other competitors on the market today. Creates a nice vibrating motion in the water, makes it a really nice live swimming motion compared to others on the market.
And this is a good way to rig the same bait for largemouth bass and smallmouth bass, and in a bigger version, northern pike.
Yes. One thing I've noticed that a lot of guys like to do, including myself, is you take your reed runners, you can use these 3.5 or even your 5 inchers, and you can use them as a versatile, throwing them in shallow water along the reed beds or along the timber. Works really great as a trailer.
What are your thoughts on color?
My favorite color is the sunfish right here. I've used it in a lot of water bodies, but typically you're going to want to use your neutral colors right here for more of your clear water, natural color lakes. However, you want to take the brighter colors such as the Fire Tiger here or the SS Shad and use those in your kind of your stained, dirty water lakes such as Lake of the Woods.
Sure.
This is the Cabela's Fisherman Series Swim Minnow, available only at Cabela's.
Fish, Dad?
There's one.
How's that one feel, Dad?
No,
About the same?
not the same, nothing.
Let me get the net here. Oh yeah. Nothing wrong with those.
Ooh,
They're starting to bite a little bit, aren't they?
yeah, a little bit better
Just that,
the last half hour.
just that little drop, a little bit deeper water. And the other thing I think that we've dialed in is the fact that these fish are feeding on perch, we believe predominantly. And so what we're trying to do with our colors is get those golds and those chartreuses that have some of that perch color. It seems like anything with gold, orange, some chartreuses has been what's been getting bit. So we're starting to dial in a little bit of a pattern here. Dad and I didn't catch the biggest walleyes that day, but we caught a lot of fish. We relived some of the past, and we made some new outdoor memories.
A little better one. He'll do.
Bob, Dad and I had a fun time that day catching walleyes.
I could tell. A lot of significance there. You know, that's good stuff. When we come back, we'll be catching largemouth bass on jigs. Stay tuned. Fishing the Midwest is brought to you by Impulse. Excite the bite with scent, color, and action. Dakota Grills. Unleash your inner chef. Offshore Tackle, the leader in trolling technology. Salmo. Insist on Salmo. Rig Wrap, the world's best fishing rig storage solution.
Impulse soft baits. 143% more effective than the competition.
And the best alternative to live bait.
Unique colors, actions, scent.
Impulse soft plastics catch more fish, period. I enjoy making good food, but I would rather fish than cook, even when it's 10 below zero. That's why my family and I invented the Dakota Grill. We let the grill do all the work. I just set the temperature and my grill does the rest. Whether I smoke, grill, barbecue, or bake, your meats will always be juicy, flavorful, and healthy. Visit dakotagrills.com for recipes, cooking videos, and more, and unleash your inner chef.
Lake Kabetogama in Voyageurs National Park is your year-round destination for experiencing nature at its finest. Enjoy the solitude of the pristine wilderness while having all the comforts of home available at the many full-service resorts. The fishing is world-class. So are all the other outdoor activities that are abundant in all the seasons. Cab is the perfect place for your family or group of friends, and Cab is an easy drive from anywhere in the Midwest. Kabetogama Lake in northern Minnesota. Discover Cab now. I started using Salmo Hornets more and more a few years ago, and in those few years, I'm catching more and more fish. There's just something about a hornet that makes a walleye or a bass or a panfish or whatever want to eat it. Hornets have a lifetime guarantee, and they're hand-tuned so they run perfect right out of the box. Cabela's has an outstanding selection of Hornets in the best sizes and colors, and the folks at Cabela's can tell you which ones are the hottest. Salmo didn't invent the crankbait, they just perfected it. Insist on Salmo at Cabela's.
How easy is it to stay rigged, ready, and tangle-free? Yeah, that easy. Rig Wrap, the world's best fishing rig storage solution.
Welcome back to Fishing the Midwest. We've got so many really good bass fishing opportunities throughout the entire upper Midwest. I know you like to catch bass, so do I.
I do, Bob, and one of my favorite ways is with a rubber leg jig. Let's go get some. Big bass can be found in varying water depths during summer. However, finding heavy cover in the shallows can be a key, as some largemouth bass are always shallow, and finding the heaviest cover will often result in the heaviest bass. Today, Bob and I are on one of our favorite largemouth lakes. We're fishing thick pencil reeds and finding some thick largemouth bass.
One there, Mike?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Good one, too.
Where'd he come from?
Right off the tip of those reeds.
Oh, boy.
Know what happened there, Bob?
No?
When I threw in there,
Yeah.
I saw the reed move.
Yep.
That's why I said there's one.
Yep.
That's not a bad starter fish.
It's a fat one, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. We're using a 1-2 punch. Bob is making long casts with a jungle jig and swimming it back to the boat, while I'm making short pitches with a Texas rigged impulse dipstick worm. Where'd that one come from?
He was right on the edge, right
Was he?
there. Yep. Not very big. He's not as big as he felt. But he was right on the edge. He whacked it hard.
Did he?
Yeah, he whacked it.
Braided line is perfect for hooking and pulling big bass from the heaviest of cover. It has very little stretch for solid hook sets and gives us the strength and power we need to horse big fish up into the boat. Sunline's FX2 frogging and flipping braid is specifically designed for power presentations like the one we're using today. Good one, Bob?
No, just one of those guys, you know. You know, that braid makes them feel bigger than they are. He was right in the edge again, but right near the heavy stuff.
Yep. When it comes to presenting baits in heavy cover like we are fishing today, a stout bait casting rod and reel combination is necessary for the best success. A Cabela's Pro Guide Bass Flippin' Rod is designed specifically for this situation. Pairing it with a Verano bait cast reel makes for the perfect heavy cover big bass setup.
Fish, Mike?
Oh, look at
boy.
that one.
Oh, boy.
Look at that one.
Absolutely.
Oh, boy, 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 boy. I'd like to catch this one, Bob.
I would like that too.
Oh, yeah.
Are you going to do it?
That is a tanker. I'm going to catch him. Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Go.
Yep.
Look at him.
Yep.
He is fat. Look at that.
He is fat.
I bet
You're
he.
right.
Oh, look at here, Bob.
What is it?
Look down his mouth. That's why he's fat. He's got a tail of, I'm not sure.
Is that right? And he's still eating your bait?
And he's still eating my bait. This fish, there was a little pocket in those reeds, and I pitched into that little pocket, and I hit kind of what I would call the sweet spot. I don't always hit the sweet spot, but this time I did, and that's where it was. Casting accuracy, pitching accuracy, when the fish are relating to cover can be really important. Bob, we're on them. Stay tuned for more bass fishing action when we come back.
Fishing the Midwest is presented by Mike's Country Meats, the best jerky in the Midwest. Ray Marine, don't just go fishing, go hunting underwater. Ice Castle, you can camp in an ice castle, but you can't fish in a camper. Sunline, the strength to guarantee your confidence. Beautiful Cabotogama Lake, gateway to Voyageurs National Park. There's nothing like a great day on the water, and there's nothing like a great snack in the boat. Family owned and operated in the Midwest since 1984, Mike's Country Meats makes a sliced, full muscle jerky with no fats or fillers. Beef jerky is portable with no refrigeration needed and is at home in the tackle box, backpack, or tailgate party. Visit their website at mikescountrymeats.com for online ordering of jerky, snack sticks, and sausage.
Don't just go fishing, go hunting underwater. With Ray Marine's superior high-fidelity chirp sonar vision, you'll never look at fishing the same again. You're already the predator above the water. Now go find your prey below it. Ray Marine. Visit raymarine.com to get in on the action.
We stress quality, we stress affordability.
When people walk in, they say they look like a cabin on wheels.
Made in the Midwest, for people in the Midwest.
Introducing a revolutionary concept in outboards, a choice. Now with the Evinrude E-Tech G2, you can choose unrivaled performance, superior fuel economy, and the cleanest combustion outboard on the planet. Choose from hundreds of color combinations to perfectly match your boat. And choose 5 years or 500 hours with no dealer scheduled maintenance. Experience the power of choice at ChooseYourEtech.com.
School of Fish is a unique kids 3-hour fishing class where kids learn about lakes, the fish that live in them, and some great ways to catch them. In addition, School of Fish graduates leave class water-ready anglers with rods, reels, tackle, and more. Community education departments, fishing clubs, and civic organizations are just some of the groups that have hosted. Join the School of Fish movement today and host a class in your community for the coming year. From late spring right through fall, a rubber leg jig is a great way to catch largemouth bass. Let's get back on the water. All right, here we go. There's one. Fish, Bob?
Fish.
Oh yeah. Another one on the long cast.
The long cast, that was the deal on that one in particular. And as the sun gets higher, the water gets warmer, the fish just bite better. And the other thing is, Mike, those long casts, oftentimes work in this, especially clear water, in the thinner rushes. You know, you're throwing to the really heavy stuff. I'm throwing to stuff that's a little bit sparser, but I'm making longer casts and getting them to bite by doing that.
This is a little guy, Bob.
Oh, he is.
He's a jumper. What do you mean he is?
He was in that heavy stuff though, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was.
Now, when you're rigging that really heavy, putting that bait in the really heavy stuff, how are you rigging it?
What I'm doing, Bob, is I'm Texas rigging it so that I'm actually burying the hook point back in the bait, which keeps it fairly weedless, And then the other thing that I've done is I use the bobber stops to keep my slip sinker right above the hook, because when that weight separates, if you don't use the bobber stops, a lot of times in the drop it'll wrap around a reed. So using the bobber stops is something that helps me fish a little more efficiently because it's better in terms of weedlessness in heavy cover. When bass fishing, we often jump spot to spot, hitting lots of areas in a single day. The new Gen 2 E-Tech is a fast, reliable engine. Let's learn more about what makes this new engine special.
When people have driven the engine for the first time, skeptics, people that may have been running or they are running a competitive product, the first thing that comes out of their mouth is nothing. It's one big grin because they've never felt anything like it, and that's the biggest thing that they come away with. Nothing has ever felt like this, nothing has ever driven like this, from the steering system to the trim system to the torque. 600 foot-pounds of torque, you can't translate that to anything unless you drive that engine. We put 4 people in a boat, I can go 90% trim. It'll lift the whole nose of the boat out of the water and plane the boat out. There's not another motor that'll do it. Along with a fuel economy on top of it. So we still get clean, we still get max performance, max speeds, but we're getting the best fuel economy, best in class fuel economy. And I mean, regardless of technology, best in class. It says something to the engine and something you need to definitely try.
Thanks, Eric. Now back to the bass.
Oh,
there's a
another long cast. I'm reeling him back through the heavy stuff.
Yep.
Dave, and
Ate it, didn't he?
He hit on the wrong side. He really hit on the wrong side. Nothing wrong with that guy. That's a nice bass. Anywhere you go, that is just a nice, fat, healthy fish.
That was some great bass fishing action. Bob, that rubber leg jig is a great way to catch them.
They really are. They really do a nice job. Hey, for all of us at Fishing the Midwest, thanks for stopping by. Be nice to one another. We'll see you again next time.